Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Alliance. My connection is so much better than it was last time. And of course,
Yes.
I am here with Katie. Katie, how you doing?
This week is chaos.
I 100% agree.
Um,
100%.
we have a sick baby. We lasted 6 weeks without her getting like sick. Um, I think that's a new record for us. Since she's been in daycare at least. So, hence my background being chaos. I have her in the afternoons because Matt and I both work from home. So like we're still trying to work and everything. Um, but I was too lazy to clean.
Well,
So
I totally get it. It's the one thing I don't miss about Amberlyn going to daycare was
mhm,
like every other week was like a new thing.
yeah.
Um but yeah, totally understand. Um guys, we are this close for everybody on YouTube. You can see my fingers. This close from not only Andor season 2, but Star Wars Celebration as well. I've already seen Adrian taking really peaceful and awesome walks around Japan. I'm super jealous. He is there. Of course, he's already told us he's going to give us the inside scoops. If anything pops up, we'll know about it hopefully before anybody else. But we also have a small announcement in regards to Andor season 2. Guys,
Yes.
we have been stressing out over this whole 3 episode drop every single week. We've
And
had
y'all
well,
know what? We're here for fun. We're not here for stress.
yeah, no, like I so I feel like I threw out the perfect gif when Chris dropped the video of Tony Gilroy. Gilroy, I thank you for thinking about us, by the way.
Yes. Even
Um
if it was minuscule and you had no
he
control
even
over
said like so somebody asked him about the 3 episode drops. He's like, oh, it's great. It's like a movie every single week. Still doing the whole spiel on how you pitch a show or a movie. His job, which I totally understand.
it. Yep.
But then he immediately said, I do feel bad for the podcasters, though. They are a really part. They are a really big part of the medium in the conversation nowadays. Consuming that much at so little time, I know it's going to be very frustrating, and it's going to be a lot. So instead of me and Katie killing ourselves trying to consume these 3 episodes in a very very short amount of time,
Y'all, because I watched Daredevil for the first time live yesterday, and I have thoughts. I may see if Travis will let me do a Patreon since that's how I got my start here is Daredevil. um, but I was and am still exhausted, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do 3 episodes. And then Joe reminds me, hey, just reschedule.
yes. So Katie and I talked about it with how hectic our schedules are on a normal basis. Coincidentally, the month of Andor is actually kind of chaotic for us just
Yeah.
coincidentally as well. So, guys, instead of having our live episodes on Wednesdays, we are now going to have our live episodes on Saturday. We're going to have our live episode Saturday. The review for Andor will be dropping on Sunday. But I
Yep.
believe, Katie, we have already discussed there will be normal episodes coming out on Thursdays
Relatively
still.
speaking.
Okay,
Relatively
okay.
speaking. So like next week. So for example, so on Thursday now in on April 24th, instead of Andor episodes 1 through 3 review, what you will instead get is our Star Wars Celebration rundown. And then you will also be getting our Wayseeker review episode, which we are recording on Friday. So that's what you can expect next week. So then on the 27th, you will get episodes 1 through 3 of season 2 of Andor from us. So then May 1st, there would not be a regular episode. Because unfortunately we can't time these things, right? But then like May 8th, or I'm sorry, so May 4th, you would get Andor episodes 4 through 6 review. So no episode on May 1st, episode May 4th. Conveniently, Star Wars Day. May 8th, you will get Tales of the Underworld review because that comes out on what? May 4th. So, May 8th, that is what you will get. May 6th is the release of Wayseeker. So that our review will also kind of be again promoted there. But May 6th is also a Valiant Val release. So instead of that review dropping on, or that review is going to drop May 15th. So that you can still get a review there. And I believe that takes us to the end because it's the 22nd, the 29th, the 6th. So you get regularly scheduled Star Wars Alliance on 3 out of the 4 weeks for Andor. The only one you will not get a Thursday episode of Star Wars Alliance for will be May 1st.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Guys, I know you can't talk back to me, but
Well, and it also, I just want to confirm also, because again, this brain dump I look at every other day, and I feel like the dates change without knowing,
they
or maybe
don't. I promise.
and that's the thing. It's my brain playing tricks on me the first time I look at it. What time are we recording, or what day are we recording Wayseeker?
Friday?
We are recording it Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's supposed to come out on, or the embargo for Wayseeker is the 21st. But
see, that's where I got it confused. I thought we were doing our celebration and Wayseeker reviews at the same time and then dropping it literally the day of. Yeah. Okay. So, hey, by the way, Katie, I'm a little behind on Wayseeker now. I was ahead, and now, oh wait, I might still be ahead. What chapter are you on?
I'm on chapter 13.
Yes. Okay, I can still finish before you. Okay, we're good. Yeah. A little bit of inside baseball there, guys. But I think that is it for scheduling news. Now, there has been some things going out there into the world.
Sorry, the scheduling news. So Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we will be live for our Andor reviews. And I know it'll put us behind the ball a little bit, guys, but you know what? Sanity. We're here for fun and sanity. Like, this is not supposed to be stressful.
And even you guys, you now don't have to try and kill yourself and watch all 3 episodes by the next day to listen to our review. Now you can take your time watching 1 episode a day until Saturday, and you can join us live and discuss each episode. It's going to be very fun.
All right. So hopefully to join us for news, it looks like Ryan, because if you're here on YouTube, the title says featuring Mynock Manor. Ryan has been dealing with technical issues, so we weren't sure if he was going to be able to make it in here. But he's joining for the main part of our show, as well as like the news and stuff. And Clay's final journey with Thrawn Treason. Very curious to hear your thoughts on this, by the way. Ryan should be headed in shortly, he says.
Awesome.
Oh, here he is. He says he got audio. I should probably add him to the stage. That's important. Hello, Ryan. Can you hear us?
Oh, wait. He's muted.
There we go.
Can't unmute.
Yes, I can hear you. It's a little fuzzy on my end, so I'm very sorry about that. Thank you for your patience on everything. So.
Very good. We just finished talking about our Andor schedule because 3 episodes is a lot to try to do in 24 hours. So, Ryan, welcome to the show. I know it's been a hot minute, but I'm so glad you were able to join us.
Yeah, I'm really thankful that you decided to reach out, and I'm super excited about being here today. It's always a pleasure to be here, so I thank you very much.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so we are about to dive into news, guys. So the news that we have today, is we are talking about Star Wars Zero Company. And then the legacy character news that Tony Gilroy has revealed. Those are like our two kind of main news points. But Clay, Ryan, I need you to explain to me what zero turn or strategy game. I don't understand what this means, basically.
So, of course, we had heard about this. There being a possibility of a new game, a new turn-based tactical game. We had heard this was going to
Okay.
be announced soon. So that is no surprise. The surprise is what the title is. Star Wars Zero Company, I think, looks very, very interesting. If you want to know more about this game, there are leaks of the actual footage. You'll probably see more of it at Celebration anyway, so
Oh
I
yeah.
think we will actually get to see some footage. But there are some leaks out there already. This is in the same vein as recently, if anybody has played Marvel's Midnight Suns. It is a turn-based game as well. That one is really weird because it's a turn-based as well as a card game, so it kind of does like this weird integration of both types of systems. Whereas this one, from the leaks that I have seen, it just looks like it's turn-based. It's very tactical. Um, I think these can be fun. It really just depends on your type of genre. Do you want something that's fast paced, button mashing, kind of beat 'em up type of game? Whereas with these type of games, it makes you think. You get to sit there for a little bit, decide what your next move is going to be. It is like a big chess game sometimes. And as I'm getting older, I really do appreciate these types of games.
So
Yeah,
how does that work in a video game style? I'm sorry. This is probably the lack of video game knowledge, but I'm like, I don't understand. What is turn-based?
I guess
Isn't
I
all
feel
video
like.
games turn-based?
Did you ever play the Mass Effect series? No. Okay.
My big video game experience, Ryan, is Mario Kart and Lego Star Wars.
Great choices, though. Great choices.
Thanks.
I think I kind of there's a game. So the Mass Effect games, it's kind of like a mixture where it's the RPG of everything, but you're in combat and you kind of have like time to select who you're attacking and like who gets to go and like if the other team go and everything. So
Okay.
yeah, it's not really my style or my type of game, but I'm curious to see gameplay for sure.
Yeah, Katie, I would recommend, like I said, in the most recent titles that have come out within the last like 5 years or so, I would look up gameplay footage of Marvel's Midnight Suns, and that's
Okay.
Suns Suns.
I know
Um,
the video game title because we've talked about it in the GUA chat.
yeah.
Okay.
It is there's your team on one side and the enemy team on the other. Depending on the type of character that you have and their play set, determines how they can move and how they can attack, how far they can attack, and everything else. This will help you strategize and build your team when going into certain levels of the game. There's many different types of games like this. If you look into the genre of tactics, there's Final Fantasy Tactics. There's there's a game like called, I think it's called Valkyrie Chronicles Tactics. Um, a lot of those games, and it is based off of like per unit square movement type of thing, just like a chess game or a checkers game. And the same thing is done in Midnight Suns. From what the photos I have seen here, there is that kind of movement, I believe. And then when seeing the attacks, you kind of are able to preview the radius of attacks, whether that be with blasters, lightsabers,
Okay.
grenades, whatever this game is going to allow us to use. It'll be very interesting. It might be your cup of tea. These games are not like a, hey, let's sit down for like a quick 15-20 minutes, go through a level and then get out of it. It is going to be something, because it's tactical, it makes you think. It may be something that you have to block off like maybe an hour for and be like, okay, I'm going to do this one level. Let's see how quickly I can move through it, but how successful am I going to be at that, type of thing.
Yeah.
So and it usually wasn't my type of game. I am very much the type of person that used to be like the beat 'em up, the story, the heavy story, really beautiful graphics type of games. Recently, though, like I said, I have enjoyed more of the like cozy, sit down and think type games. So I think this one's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I am disappointed with some of the reactions to this game because a lot of people are just going like based on the poster that we got, which features what looks like an Umbaran, a member of Plo Koon species, a couple of clones, a droid, and then a male scoundrel-looking character. Kind of looks like Andor, honestly.
Andor, yeah, that's what I thought it was at first too.
And like some people have been like, oh yay, no like girl boss character in this game. Like, come on, trolls.
That's dumb.
So yeah, interested to see gameplay footage. I guess we'll see how it goes. The other bit of news we have to really talk about is obviously Andor is in its round of press, and I'm interested to hear your take on this, Ryan. So Tony Gilroy has confirmed that there is a Star Wars Legacy character in season 2 that has actually been recast. So we know we're going to Yavin. We know we're right before Rogue One and A New Hope. So there is a lot of potential for this legacy character, for who this legacy character could be, because you've got Bail Organa, you have several generals, and everything. And Star Wars has recast people. Genevieve O'Reilly took over the Mon Mothma role in the prequels and now into Rogue One and Andor. Jimmy Smits has stuck around, but then like there's just other places where Star Wars has chosen to use deepfakes, i.e. Luke Skywalker, Tarkin, Leia. So how do you guys feel about the recast here? Obviously, I think most of us are in favor of this. But who do you think this character could be?
I'm curious if it's. I want it to be Bail Organa because I just want to see more of him interacting with the rebellion. Obviously, I'd love Jimmy Smits to be there. He's just the role, but
Right.
otherwise, I feel like it's probably going to be like General Dodonna or whatever I think his name is. I feel like it might not be as big as Bail, but I'm definitely cool with any recasting. Whatever helps them get the character in the show, get some part of the world. Even if it means they don't look the same. Yeah, I don't need a digital face over it.
Yeah, especially if it is a minor character. Not like to say that like Bail's a minor character, but like Wolf Yularen, like we don't need like an exact replica for what he looks like, kind of thing. So, versus like Anakin Skywalker, yeah, you want to get a little closer. Luke, yeah.
Well, and that's what I was saying before we actually went live, is like, and I don't want to sound insensitive. I said as long as they're not a important character, quote unquote. And it sucks that we've kind of gotten to this point, but like I feel like the fans have really determined what important is. So I guess we really won't know if it's a good choice until we either see the backlash or the lack thereof of this recast. Because I could very much see the timeline of seeing the recast and the majority of people being like, wait, who was that supposed to be again? And them not necessarily knowing that first castmate, which doesn't mean that it's not important to the story of Star Wars, but it's not a revolving character. You know?
Right. Like my point with Jimmy is Jimmy was recently in Obi-Wan, so I'd like to see him kind of stick around because recently Bail Organa has been Jimmy Smits. So I would want to see that continuity there, and I feel like Jimmy should have known at this point that he needs to be in Andor season 2. But again, scheduling, we've had strikes, we've had COVID, like scheduling just sometimes doesn't work out. So at the end of the day, if he doesn't make it in and they recast, I will be okay with that, even though like he's the face. Like he's iconic. Jeez.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, that's the big news pieces, unless we did want to talk about Mikey. I forgot about her. Did you want to talk about her?
Well, I think that we could very easily just skim through it, but the entire thing today was that Mikey Madison, currently most well known from, Honora. Honora was the most recent movie. Was being eyed to star in Sean Levy's Star Wars film alongside Ryan Gosling. And then, literally, like an hour ago, I think we got an actual update to this saying that Madison actually turned down the role. And the reason why I still wanted to bring this up was this kind of gives us a little sneak peek into what, quote unquote, type of character or actress they are really looking for to star alongside Ryan Gosling. I had told the GUA chat that the only thing I know about Honora is that it was a very controversial movie, apparently. It's not something that I have seen. But as far as her acting ability and things like that, I don't have any prior experience to any of Mikey Madison's filmography. So as far as I can see, that I can literally see the type of actress and be like, okay, they're trying to look for this type of character. But yeah.
That's a good point. I feel like if they're trying to go for that big of a name to go alongside of him, like even if she passes, I feel like whoever they could consider next might be similar, like up and coming or what, kind of like the hot actor or actress to get. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see because the only thing I would know her from is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which
that was her. Okay, I've seen her in one movie.
Yeah, I did not like, and I wouldn't be able to tell you who she played because I also didn't like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
She was the girl that Brad Pitt threw the can of beans at.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that moment. I can't put a face to it. Obviously, I have her face in front of me. But it's like, meh. I don't know.
And I'm pretty sure she ran into the pool and got flamethrowered. I think that was her.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
That's more familiar. Flamethrowers.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I feel like they would like a more prominent younger Gen Z name involved just to try and get
Sydney Sweeney. Boom.
Dude, I don't know if Sydney would even say it, like consider it. Like Mikey may have considered it.
Well, because here's the thing. There are rumors that Sydney Sweeney is going to star in a live action Gundam movie. Which is
Gundam?
Yeah, I don't know if you know what Gundam is. It is a anime, huge mechs. Think of Pacific Rim, but the robots fight each other. There's militaries that use Gundams for like space battles and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. But there's rumors of Sydney being attached to that film in some capacity. And I'm like, hey, if she could be in a Gundam movie, she can very much be in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. All right. So, shall we delve into our main topic tonight, boys?
I think so.
All right, y'all. So I came up with this after seeing The Way Seekers. Clay was so proud of me for coming up with an original podcast idea. It is not like original, but like non-review or news topic based one. So The Way Seekers did a lightsaber bracket in honor of March Madness. So the inspiration comes from here. But I figured we could have a High Republic character battle bracket. So Clay has mocked us up a very nice diagram right here.
That's
with
good.
Bracket. Yeah, he did so good. And he's got all of the concept art down pat, like very impressed. That like you got all this done. But I am taking from the character encyclopedia, which does not have all of the characters, but has most of the characters. And this is what I used to kind of build my list. But our job here today, guys, is this is going to be a two-parter where Star Wars Alliance is going to go versus Mynock Manor. And we're going to have a moderator come in for a second battle, or for the second part of the episode, where we actually go through the bracket and come up with a winner for our High Republic character, like MVP, basically. So the rules of the game is each team gets 8 characters. And this episode we were just drafting. Chris was not able to join us for this one, but hopefully he will be able to join us on the second part of this series. But each team, Siri, I am not talking to you. Sorry. But each team gets 8 characters, and basically after this is just we're drafting our sides of the bracket. And then we'll be able to go through and be able to basically rank each of our teams. And then we'll kind of do the matchups as everything goes kind of thing. And yeah, that's kind of the theme. The moderator in the next episode will basically decide who wins each battle. Those characters will move on. Everybody knows what a bracket is, even if you don't like basketball like I don't. I don't know. I thought this was a cool idea.
I think it's a great idea.
Thanks, Ryan. But it's been done on Twitter. Like people do like the polls and everything kind of thing. So definitely not like a true original idea. But I'm excited to kind of see how this goes. So we each brought 12 characters. So this is going to take a second, but we are basically going to bring up a random number or random coin flip to decide who goes first, because we cannot have the same characters on each team. So
This is true. Yes.
we have a list of 24 characters. Ryan, do you have yours like in a way you could send it to us so Clay can like present it?
Ooh, yeah, sure. I will be able to do that.
Let's see here.
And I asked you if you had yours written down, and I realized I don't have mine written down. So, all right, Clay, you have 6 and I have 6.
Okay.
Almost
So
sent.
please hold. Clay's gonna edit this very nicely in podcast format. But if you're here on YouTube, here's the magic.
Hopefully you can read the list I just sent.
Yes.
Let's see here. I see it right here.
I did get Chris's input on this, so
Okay. So
it's a
he
team
is
effort.
included.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm like nervous because I feel like the guys will pick some really cool characters, and I'm gonna have to try to pretend like my character's better for some reason. And
That's why you get time. That's why we're not doing the
Yes.
arguments now. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I always forget to turn that off on Wednesdays.
if I didn't have my phone off all day at work, I probably would have it going off like crazy right now. So
Oh, I just have all the alarms to remind me, especially since Mara's homesick. Like,
oh, okay.
oh gosh, I can't remember her name. I'm gonna have to pull a comic off the shelf. What is your name? It's the girl with the hat.
The girl with
Sabina,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
From Adventures?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Nice.
Is this a better one to pull her name from? I just want to make sure. Not that I couldn't Google it on Sav. Yeah. That's why Sabina didn't sound familiar, is because she's Sav.
Love the giant research station just within reach. It's fantastic.
I know. I don't know how I would survive without my shelf behind me. Okay. Here's mine.
Ooh.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, I thought you were supposed to have 6. You have 7 there.
I do have 6. Leveler, Orla, Wreath, Avar, Sav, Keeve.
Okay, never mind.
Can I not count?
No, I for some reason I was counting Sav's last name as another character.
I had to put Mal again because that's how I recognize her.
Sabatrix, isn't that like her full first name or something?
I think I just read it was Savina. Savina Besatrix Malagon.
That's the middle is okay. That's right. You did.
All right. And then I guess I will put mine down. And I guess it's technically okay if we have some overlap.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because all right.
Oh, I did forget Gela a well. Okay. So, Clay, can you pull up a coin flip? Ryan, we're gonna let you pick which side of the coin you want. Since you're the guest.
All right. Gonna go with heads.
All right. So random coin flip it is. Here we go.
Da, 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 da.
Gonna flip. Tails.
It's tails.
Nice. Never fails.
All right. Clay, do you have your giant list, or do you want me to present the list?
Which list?
Like, basically, so we can cross the names off as we pick.
Oh, so
how are you? However way you want to do this, you're the magic graphic person.
So I can actually write it all down here, and I will write down who has who. But that is also why I made the graphic, so that way we can do it one by one each time.
Yes.
All right. So Clay, you pick first.
Okay. I'm going to pick and he's already up here. My boy Wreath Silas.
Very nice. Very nice.
He has been a little bit of a cornerstone of my love for the High Republic. And I think my love for him grew exponentially, even on this last book for sure. So I think he's good to have on our team.
Not jealous whatsoever.
We all three had him on our list. Okay, guys.
Yep.
So we all wanted him.
Yes.
Okay, so then we have Wreath and then Mynock Manor. Let's go ahead and have them ready. Okay, so Katie.
No, Ryan gets picked next because we're on the same team.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I was going to have you do the coin flip, but yeah, I guess that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just figured we'd go down the list.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with Keeve Tritus.
Yeah.
Keeve. All right. Man, do I have Keeve here? Hold on.
Speaking of Cornerstone, definitely her story through the comics has been my biggest focus, I feel like. So
absolutely.
There she is. We'll go Keeve. Oh, well, hold on. Wrong spot.
Waiting to see how she gets lost.
Yep, for sure. I'm presenting your screen. I hope that's okay, Clay.
Yeah, you're fine. I thought I clicked it. I'm sorry.
Okay. You had hit share, but not present. All right. So I'm going to pick the one that I put on the list. I'm going to pick the leveler because I think, and this is kind of like the nameless kind of in general, but I feel like the leveler is kind of the key character, especially after what we got in Edge Balance Premonition. which Clay, you still haven't read, right?
No, but I ordered it today. So
Ryan,
we
have you read it
will-
yet?
The Premonition one?
Yeah.
I am actually in the middle of reading it today, so
Okay.
working on
Sorry
it.
if that was big spoiler. I'm sorry. I told Clay kind of that already, but yes, I'm picking the Leveler as our next member.
I really like that idea because, yeah, I think they've been misunderstood. So it'll be interesting to see how this all wraps up.
Hmm.
let's see here. Let me grab that character here. And then have him right there. All right. Now, is it my turn or no? I guess it would be
It's Ryan's turn.
Ryan's turn again. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna have to go with Salandra Show.
Yeah.
My shield.
Don't let me. Yes. Were you so happy that Breathe got her shield? We were ecstatic.
Yeah, I feel like of anyone who deserved it, Reef fit the bill, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was really, really cool.
Rupert would have approved as well.
Yep.
Now I just need to see it show up, someone else get it. Like Ray picks it up, I need to see it come back alive.
I really hope, I genuinely hope that we don't just leave these really cool moments of the High Republic just to kind of just die off. I really hope that Lucasfilm decides to throw in some Easter eggs with this next hopefully trilogy of movies.
Yep.
All right, so I guess it would be my turn now.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and choose my boy. Oh, see, no. You know what? It started it all with him, and I think we need him. It's gonna be Loden Greatstorm.
Ooh.
I feel like Loden definitely needed, and I actually just realized that I am not presenting the correct page because nothing was moving. There we go. Yeah, so
Clay, I hate to break it to you, Loden is not on your list that you sent in the chat.
did I not put him? Oh, son of a gun. Okay. Sorry. Well, in that case, I can't get him. What I will do is choose my other one then. The one that I was intentionally going to do until I changed my mind last second to try to get Greystorm. I'm going to get Porter Ingle. Porter has been a really cool addition to the High Republic from Charles Soule. But I think I have like really started to love him even more throughout this, like, and people can argue and say that it's not a vengeful hunt, but the way that Porter is hunting down this Nihil general, basically, I absolutely love it. Like it's something that we're probably not supposed to love, but the way that he just is not stopping, I think is really, really fun and really cool. It's an aspect of the Jedi that we haven't really seen. So I really enjoyed his story so far.
Yeah. I'm curious when we're gonna get that broken blade.
I know. I think Charles had said he had more discussions about it. But at this point, I'm like, okay, so this is not, his story is not ending. There's no way it's ending in Trials of the Jedi. Oh.
Yeah, I like that idea, that they've been slowly kind of teasing lately. It's just, we're ending this current part of the High Republic. This is the end of this part of it. So, promising.
Yep, for sure. All right, Ryan. Pick number 3.
Gonna go with Marta Rowe on this one.
Nice.
All right.
I think I would love to see so much more of her transition from, the path of vengeance to how she was in the short story.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, to Claw and I forget the name of her story there, but that was just such an eye-opening story about the Everini and artistry, and that just exciting stuff.
Getting more about the Everini would be important, I think, especially to just expand on the legacy of the High Republic that we've gotten so far. So for my next pick, I'm gonna go with Ty York, and I know she wasn't on my list, but she was on my next 6. I just think she's a super special character. I know she's not like super present in the mainline story, but I just love her character so much, and seeing her grow over the comics from Cabin Scott and Rachel. I can't remember her last name, but the artwork, especially in the last one. Scott. Yes, thank you. Fantastic stuff. And I can't wait to see more in Trials of the Jedi.
Yeah,
Ryan, you're next up again.
Okay. Yeah, Ty might have been my next pick, so that was a good choice. I feel like I've gone a lot of phase 2 already. Let's see. Gonna have to go with well, kind of works out. Looks like she's next. Lula Talisola.
Nice. We do love Lula.
Yeah, I felt like they handled it pretty well, in between phase 1 and 3.
Yeah. I'm behind on the High Republic Adventures because I just wait for the trades to come out, but I can't wait for like the next part of the story because like the next like 3 volumes are coming out so close together.
Oh, okay.
Because it's oh gosh, I have the release dates on my brain dump form right here. Okay, so wait, where'd it go? Crash Zone comes out the 29th. Echoes of Fear comes out the 22nd.
Jeez.
So then I'm excited for Echoes of Fear, especially because I feel like I missed something with Into the Light. And then Volume 3 for High Republic Adventures doesn't come out actually until the end of May. But yeah. I'm excited, basically.
Very nice.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, having read Echoes of Fear and then Into the Light, they did a pretty good job of not giving too many specifics what happened there, so it's like you almost didn't need it.
Okay.
But it is still helpful.
All right.
Oh, by the way, guys, the Into the Light audiobook did actually drop yesterday. So if you were waiting on that, it is out in the wild.
It did. Okay.
Yes. Because that was how I was planning on reading it the second time after I got Echoes of Fear read. So
I guess it's my turn now. We had the entire fandom rallying around this character, even though I feel like there wasn't much talk of him before it actually happened. I'm going with my boy Buryaga.
I'm not surprised.
Buryaga has been such a interesting character now that he's really getting like the limelight. Like I said, and like even Katie had said it at one point early on in our reviews of the High Republic that before the fall of Starlight Beacon, Burry was more of like the child's like spotlight character, like the toddler books type of spotlight
Yep.
character.
Mm-hmm.
And then like as soon as he basically sacrificed himself at the fall of Starlight Beacon, Lucasfilm and like everybody in the High Republic, was just like, hey, he's upgraded to adult. Let's just
Yep.
completely turn his character around. And I really love how much of an empath he is, and for somebody who you literally can't understand him unless you know, of course, Shreewook. I think it's so cool that we are getting so much from him.
Yep.
Like even like the moments where he got like for like a split second, he got the communicator or whatever, the translator, and like was yelling
Yeah.
at people, and then like he kind of just like got done with it or whatever. He's like, forget this. But yeah, I've absolutely fallen in love with Buryaga.
Yeah, I really liked how much Kashyyyk for Into the Light there was, and wish there's more Burry in there, but yeah, I think he's going to be more Trials. That's where he's really going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan, I think this is your 5th pick now.
Yep.
Yeah. Gonna have to. Gonna go with Geode.
Yep, that was my next pick. I was gonna steal him.
And I don't know why he is actually one of the only characters I forgot to upload a picture for. So let me grab him.
Gasp.
I feel like if
you even
I
had the
could find a rock
leveler.
photo for you real quick, and
No, I have a friend recently who just got done with phase 1 of the High Republic. He's just now starting phase 2. And he was very confused when Geode was first introduced. And I was like, dude, trust me. Like, once you get to like midway through the Fallen Star, you're gonna absolutely love how much of a boss Geode is. And again,
literally.
no spoilers for Into the Light, but Geode is very much a highlight of that novel as well.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. So for my next pick, I'm gonna go with Sav Maligan, the star of the High Republic Adventures for Phase 2. I just loved her growth there as a character and seeing where she's at in Phase 1 and Phase 3. I thought that was a really cool way to continue to tie in important characters over the different time spans. So
yeah. Ryan, who is your next book? Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I love the way that her journey, it's definitely a lot of fans found, a lot of themselves in her journey in that phase, which was pretty cool to see. I like how Daniel Jose Older's been doing that in all of his stories. So
Yeah.
I really love the almost complete 180 of her character when
mhm.
you see her as an adult compared to a much younger individual.
Yeah.
I really do like that.
For my next pick, I'm going to go with Aslan Rel.
Okay, so I chose to put Aslan Rel from phase 2 in this draft, but do you want
Interesting.
Aslan from like phase 3?
It's kind of more where he came into like where I really fell for him, but and the crazy journey he's been on. I mean, either one will work. Image preference. It's more about the debate.
I guess so. I guess it would really depend on how you debate that character.
Yeah.
I really love how and even me and Katie said this in a most recent review. Aslan was literally introduced in the Path of Deceit on the very first chapter and the last 2 pages of that book. Like, you don't see anything from him in phase 2 all that much. And then you get hit with this giant bomb the next time you see him, and he has completely transformed into this hellscape of a character.
Mhm.
Did you ever read Precedent?
Yes, I
Edge of
think
Balance?
I think I have it.
We're gonna
I
have to
think I
figure that
read it.
out because it's important you read that before Premonition.
I'm pretty sure I have it.
Okay. I think I've asked you this question like 5 times, and you give me a different answer every time. So, anyways, sorry.
Oh, you know what? How about this? It has yet to be seen in the actual novel or in the comics, but I'll give you Aslan's new look
Ooh,
with
the
the white armor.
armor.
How
Oh,
about that?
armor stuff. All right, all right.
That'll be interesting.
Yes.
All right. So my next pick. Oh, okay. I really cared for this character a little more than I thought I ever would. Um, and I'm really kind of upset with how it ended for this character in phase 2. I'm gonna be choosing Yana
Mm-hmm.
Rowe. Of uh out of all of the heartbreak stories that we've seen in phase 2, I think Yana's was just horrifying. From somebody who became so confident uh to somebody who was completely lost and didn't know what the hell was going on, um, was actually really freaking terrifying to see. Um, so like I I almost feel like going back to those to that trilogy just to
Oh,
see
we
her story
will.
again.
We
Um,
will.
but like seeing her relationship completely dissolve into nothing, and then like oh, what was his name? Her girlfriend's father, who was like the second like
Oh
pope.
gosh.
The
Oh,
was it the commissioner or some
It
sort of
wasn't the
like title?
commissioner.
It was like some sort of title like that. I
he was like Worth, or no,
wait,
that was
was it
the
the
Herald.
warden? Oh,
Yeah, the
Harold,
Herald.
Harold. Yeah.
Yes.
The Herald, yeah. Like and like her kind of like telling him everything, and like he was trying to like start to be on the fence and stuff. Like everything literally crashed down, and I feel like Yana was kind of unfortunately just placed in the center of it when she didn't really need to be. Um, and I, in a weird way, loved her for that. It's just like somebody who I could latch on to that wasn't completely just lost in the chaos, but kind of was at the same time.
You already got a very good argument there. Okay, so I got to pick next.
Yep, you got pick 7.
Ooh. Gonna go for Avon Staros.
Nice.
Very nice.
Something about her, just from was a Test of Courage, the first, just from day one, has just been so interesting to me because I know it's all about the Jedi for the era, but I really wanted to see more normal citizens and her story and what she's been doing with crystals, and just her brain has just been fascinating. Her and her mom, for sure,
Yeah.
are also quite the story.
Oh yeah, I love that mother-daughter relationship. That's like, because I always felt like I had that with my mom, and I've only recently started to like build up that relationship back up to like a good level where we're like on the same page and stuff. So I definitely really relate to her story there. Very good character from Justina. And then development from all the other authors involved, obviously, because like we say, like, oh, these characters belong to their creator, obviously, but still all these authors in the initiative have developed everybody along the way. All right, for pick 8 of the Star Wars Alliance team, final pick, I am going for the hero of Hetzel herself. I know this may seem cliche, but I believe Avar has been on an incredible journey. Pride comes before a fall, you know? And I really enjoy how she found herself from Fallen Star to Shadows of Starlight. I think Charles Soule did an incredible job there. And I can't wait to see how it all ends in Trials. Like, oh my gosh. It's coming. It's coming, y'all.
Yeah, I'm really glad how, she was, no really point of view phase 1, and now she's been so well used now that she has been a point of view character.
Very much so. But Ryan, I think this is your last pick.
Gonna go with the Boy of Chaos. I feel like probably a controversial pick is Axel Greylark.
Yes.
I really wanted to have him on my list, but I was like, I don't know. Like, I think it came down to either having Axel or Yana, and I felt more so inclined to get Yana than I did Axel.
Makes sense, yeah. Yeah, I think I technically put together like 24 characters, and then I fought with myself for like 20 minutes to figure out who was the final 12. So
yeah,
and then Chris helps, and then
I do want to give ourselves a pat on the back for not every single one of us grabbing just Jedi.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a very simple thing to do, but for us to pick characters that are also, of course, the quote unquote civilians of these stories, I think really attests to how great the storytelling is for each of these characters.
Absolutely. Like, well done, Team High Republic. Oh,
yes.
Ryan's device says not connected.
Uh-oh.
They will need to connect their mic/cam before you can add them to the stream. Ryan, your microphone died. I don't know if you can hear us.
I think you might need to let him know that in the...
He says he can hear us in the private chat.
Oh, that's funny. it might be the best time for his mic to go off. I'm not entirely sure, Ryan, if you were going to join us for the Thrawn Treason conversation. But before we jump into that, I just want to say that this is it. We have our bracket. I will clean this up. This was mainly just to have an actual visual for you guys here on YouTube. I will clean this up, make it look a little bit nicer once we actually have our debate. But I will go ahead and name everybody that each team currently has.
It looks like he got connected back. Okay.
There we
back,
go.
Ryan.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can. Gotta love technical difficulties, y'all. Technology. It's a blast.
Yeah, I think I will probably step up just because of the tough technical difficulties. I don't know how, I don't want to keep everyone waiting for me to randomly unmute myself again. So
no worries. Ryan, tell us where they can find you on all the places. So
on Instagram, it's going to be Mynock Manor. On Blue Sky, it's Mynock Manor. I don't really use Twitter anymore. Otherwise, just mynockmanor.com.
Yes. And y'all, I love Ryan's reviews. He does an incredible job. Chris does an incredible job as well with all the reviews, guys. That is the place to go find written Star Wars reviews. So, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. And we'll figure out when part 2 is happening.
Yeah,
sometime after Andor.
Yes. I can't wait. Thank you again for letting me be part of this. I'm super stoked. I'm already writing notes. You two are the real geniuses with the verbal words, and so I'm going to have a lot of tougher time, and I can't wait.
Looking forward
I will
to
have a script as well. Don't worry. So, all right. Have a good night, Ryan.
All right. Thank you guys too.
All right. So, with that being said, I can exit out of all of this and make my computer run a little bit smoother.
How hot is it in your bedroom right now?
Way too damn hot. Well, because for one, I usually, right before we start recording, I go over here and turn on the AC unit. I totally forgot to do that today. So it's actually kind of humid in here right now. But I'll be totally fine. So guys, if you are unaware, of course, Katie has talked me into. Oh, by the way, before I even go on to this conversation, let me actually see if I can bring this up. Oh, I can, because I actually put it in our Star Wars Alliance chat. Katie, I have not even asked you. Have you met this man before? At all? As somebody who has read his books prior to me.
No, I have not.
For some reason I didn't know this, and like, so when you and Taylor were both like, I'm so jealous, I'm like, you've done this before, but I totally forgot you just ordered the book signed.
Yeah. So his local bookstore, because Clay has still not presented this photo, guys. He has a photo getting his paperback Thrawn books signed by the one and only Timothy Zahn himself, which I'm so jealous about. But he has a local bookstore. I believe it's Winter River Books. I know it's Winter something. But I'm looking it up for you guys right now. But that is where I have ordered my signed books from him, is that bookstore, which is his local bookstore. He goes in and signs decently regularly. You used to have to, yes, Winter, I actually had it right. Oh my gosh, Winter River Books. But got my last book signed by him right before he started asking for money because he's getting up there in age. And he, like, people just can't sign like they used to, guys. So yeah, I'm very jealous. Clay had to step away for a second, but he got to meet him at C2E2 and get all of his books signed, which is epic. I hope you told him Mara Jade is awesome. For me.
Well, the reason why I wanted to bring this story up, I literally told him, so guys, I don't, for anybody who doesn't know, my second story with the introduction of Legends was Heir to the Empire. The first story I ever read in Legends was the Bane trilogy. The second was Heir to the Empire. The first Thrawn story. And I told him this. And I said, Timothy Zahn, I love your writing. And this was told to me by somebody, referring to Katie, that the Heir to the Empire trilogy was written in the perspective of the rebels.
Oh, did you tell him this?
And I told him I hated Thrawn reading that story. And I told him I did not like Thrawn being 20 billion steps ahead of everybody. And he kind of just looked at me and I said, but this trilogy right here that I finished in literally less than a month, all 3 books, I told him I have a newfound love for Thrawn. I didn't tell him that I feel like it almost sickens me that I have this newfound love for Thrawn. But I did tell him. I did tell him that story. And he went on to tell me, like, oh, it's because of how he thinks of his people first, but he's very cunning. And so in that perspective, he's able to work for both the Empire and the Chiss Ascendancy without stepping on any toes. Well, not really. That's what he said. So like I thought this was a really cool moment.
Yeah, that is.
The only thing that I didn't absolutely love is I knew Timothy Zahn was going to be at this convention. So I brought my copy of Thrawn Alliance. This very you're the book person. What kind of print is this?
Is that the one did I send you that one? Or did you buy that one?
I bought this one.
Okay,
this
so
is like the very tiny.
That is like the airport version. So
yes.
It's like in between the trade paperback and the mass market paperback. So it's got the height of a trade paperback, but it's not depth-wise the same.
Yes. So I brought this to him to sign. Right next to him, right out of view of this picture, he has a rack of books where he had these 2 books. And then he had this copy again. So he was missing the trade of Alliance. I would have bought all 3 again. I would have bought Alliance again. I would have gotten a second copy because I actually love Alliance that much to own 2 copies of this book.
So I don't think Alliances is out in trade yet.
Really?
Yeah, so they're waiting for everything to kind of go out of print before reprinting them in trade.
Oh, I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all.
Because they moved up to the size because they wanted people to have like the same depth to like Legends books and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But then they kind of just, when COVID hit, okay, like we need to kind of move to one form of publication for these books. We don't need 5 different copies of the same book. So then they moved to trades.
Katie.
What?
This page ripped out.
Your autograph page?
No, not the autograph page. Literally the page before it did, though.
Oh no!
This was not a really good bounded book. But I will still keep it. It's fine.
It's autographed. It'll be fine.
It's Treason. It's my least favorite of the three. Spoilers. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this mini review of Star Wars Thrawn Treason, of course, written by Timothy Zahn.
How did you feel? So this takes place when Thrawn leaves in the middle of season 4.
Yes. How I feel is this gives me no goddamn answers between where we see him at the end of season 4 of Clone Wars, or sorry, Rebels, and then where we see him again in Ahsoka. There is no answers here. Now, I understand.
But that's not where this book takes place.
It's correct. No. So, but that's the thing. There's not an inkling of breadcrumbs either. That's my problem.
Okay.
Now, I understand, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, which I probably am. The other trilogy,
Thrawn Ascendancy is what you're talking about, right?
yes. Is that a sequel to this?
It's a prequel. So
it is a prequel.
Place in the prequel trilogy.
Okay.
So
see, then I have even more problems. Okay.
To give you context of where that takes place. So Treason, or not Treason, Alliances happens in the first book of the Ascendancy trilogy.
Okay. So Treason, for people who don't know where in the timeline this lays, Stardust, aka the Death Star, is still being constructed. Okay. So this is still very early, like I would almost say like prior to Andor. Maybe, just maybe, like beginning of like.
No, this takes place in season 4 of Rebels, which is 0 BBY.
Is it 0? Okay, so. Okay, yeah. Okay, so.
Yeah, so this. So Wikipedia has this. So it says chronologically, Thrawn Treason is set between the Star Wars Rebels episodes Rebel Assault and Family Reunion and Farewell. Rebel Assault is the 9th episode of season 4 of Rebels. Family Reunion is the 15th and final episode of Star Wars Rebels.
Okay. So I still like this trilogy. As a trilogy, I think it does a very good job at doing what it's supposed to do, which is tell you this story of Thrawn's journey in the Empire. But where I think it lacks is his journey through the Empire. And the only reason why I say that is because I feel like there was like 5 to 10 years between Alliance and Treason. It just feels like there's so much missing between those two books.
Because you got it all in season 3 of Rebels.
I don't like it. No, I get it. But again, this is the same issue and you're preaching to the choir here, because I understand this all too well. This is the same problem that literally every connected universe in every single form of media has. You look at comics, you look at any comic book story, the main event stories come up, and they're like, oh, you know Sally from this story, blah 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 blah, and you're like, who the hell is Sally? You're like, oh yeah, you know that tie-in of that one series that was like only a mini series of this one character that you never thought about? Yeah, that mini series. This is the exact same problem, okay? Because most people who are reading these books, I'm going to go ahead and say this generalization, and I might be wrong, but it's not so wrong for every other generalization of the same type of thing. And what I'm going to say is the people who read this trilogy do not read and watch in order. They're not going to say, hey, I want to read this trilogy, but in between this trilogy, I have to go watch Rebels. They're not going to do that. They're going to read Thrawn Alliances, and then Thrawn Treason.
So I will adjust what I had said, by the way. So Treason takes place after episode 9 of season 4.
Yeah.
So that's what you're getting. So Alliances takes place after the present timeline of Alliances takes place after season 3 of Rebels. Then Treason, then you have the first part of season 4 of Rebels, and then you have Treason. And then so I think the thought process with this release is that a lot of people still had Rebels in their head because Alliances came out in 2018. Season 3 of Rebels came out in 2016. So a lot of people just had it in their head because Rebels had just recently come out, whereas you're reading it now and Rebels isn't like really in your head. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying maybe
This
that
is
was the thought
7
process.
years after the book was released.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Not saying you're wrong. Just presenting where it came up kind of in publishing.
No, I get it. I get it. I totally get it.
Because so Rebels season 3 came out. It started in 2016, October 1st, 2016. And it ended March 25th, 2017. So this is about a year-ish later. And season 4 of Rebels came out October 16th, 2017. So the Treason's like 2 years after this. And I think people were just kind of looking for like okay, hey, where are we at in this break?
Okay. So also another problem that I have with the trilogy, because there is still no resolution by the end of this book, Thrawn Treason, the Grolix. Am I missing something here? Yeah, sorry, the Grisks. The Grisks. Am I missing something here?
You're not missing anything.
Like
You're
they're the Grisks are a huge problem for the Empire. They're a huge threat for the Empire. And then you see all of these moments. Again, it's these moments that you're supposed to see in these novels. That's not the part that I'm upset about. But Thrawn even speaks with like his closest parts of his team is like, oh, I thought 20 billion steps ahead and we're going to do this and do this and do this and do this. Oh, and they're actually gonna, plan for this because they don't want to be, this big of a problem, but they're actually waiting to see what our next step is, but I'm actually 20 steps ahead of them, and like okay, Thrawn is trying to weed them out to attack because they are a problem not only for the Empire, but again, his number one reason for living is to protect the Chiss.
Mhm.
And nothing comes of it. Literally. I feel like I had never heard of this threat anywhere else in anything Star Wars. It's introduced in Thrawn. Sorry. It's introduced in Alliance because it happens along with Darth Vader and Anakin.
Yep.
And then nothing.
Well, and this is the problem with Star Wars, right? Is like most of the time you need a villain in Star Wars, and unless you want an interplanetary conflict like what you get with Classic This, then you need some giant threat involved. And so in some cases, that's the Empire. In this case, Zahn was able to kind of write this outside of the parameters of what's going on and is able to just kind of intertwine a conflict. The Grisks come up more in the Ascendancy trilogy. And you'll find out, and I don't really consider this a spoiler, but you'll find out the Grisks is why Thrawn was sent to go to the Empire, because he found Anakin in alliances and in that in the past sections of alliances. And so he found Anakin there, and they hear that, oh, the Republic has turned into the Empire. So then Thrawn is sent out under guise of expulsion from the Chiss Ascendancy for breaking rules. And is like, okay, see if they will become a good partner for us.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what's intertwined here. But when this book came out, people were like, okay, what happens next to Vanto? What happens next to Ronan? Like, what happens to all these characters? You don't know.
That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And the reason being, you put me through all of this for Eli's story, okay? All of this. Vanto was a character that I immediately gravitated towards because he was just like, bro, I don't even go here. This isn't even my job. This dude accidentally, successfully failed upward. like he could have succeeded on his own. But Thrawn was like, nah, dude, this is where you don't want to be, and I'm going to make sure you're the best at it. And it's like, why? Like, I didn't sign up for this. And so, yeah, you gravitate towards him through his whole story. And then Thrawn's like, hey, I got another mission you don't want to do, and throws him into a completely different, quote unquote, empire. Of course, the Chiss Ascendancy. And like, he's basically now a deserter working for this entirely different entity, learning a whole new language, basically becoming a second Thrawn, by the way, very slowly. And like, and you're telling me, oh, by the way, you never learn what happens to him after this book. Like, fuck off. And you cannot tell me that.
So, and I think the problem lies in the fact that this ran into, okay, Rebel Season 4, Thrawn goes bye-bye. I don't think, and this could have been a question that you asked Zahn had I known you were going to meet him, I don't think Zahn wants to write Star Wars without having Thrawn or one of his other characters involved. I think he's written one Star Wars book in its entirety that doesn't have Thrawn. Yep, Scoundrels. every other book that he's written for Star Wars has either had Mara Jade or has had Thrawn or has had both. So it's kind of like which is I think why you get the Ascendancy trilogy, to give you more background on the Grisks and the Chiss and everything, because Lucasfilm basically probably said to him, no, you can't write a sequel because we don't know what happens to Thrawn yet, and Dave Filoni wants to use him in Ahsoka.
But bullshit. That's what I would have said.
I'm just saying the logical reason.
And then, as much as I hated the asshole, Rowan, at the very end of this book, like, this dude is a sleazebag the entire story. The entire story, he is a brown noser for Krennic, man. He is just I follow the Empire. I follow the Empire. I follow the Empire. Stardust. I wanted to smack the shit out of this dude. And then, at the very end, when he finally gets the guts to do something actually good, Thrawn goes, hey, I really appreciate your work. By the way, you're a dead man. And he's like, what? Yeah, you don't understand. Like, Vader's gonna be watching your back. And after the shit you pulled today, you really think you're gonna survive under Vader? And he's like, all right, yeah, you got me. And so, like a boss, he's like, hey, you called one of my best friends a traitor. I'm gonna make you a traitor. Go work for my people. And now you tell me I don't get to know what happens to Rowan. Now, granted, I could almost guarantee you I can make that educated guess right now. They transfer him into the other ship. That airlock closes, blaster to the head. I don't think he makes it into light speed. I genuinely don't, because of oh, what was her name?
Arlani?
Yeah, Arlani. No way. Like, because she was even like, are you serious? Like, you're gonna make me watch after this dude, and you think he's gonna help me? I don't think so. Like, I genuinely think he didn't even make it to hyperspace. But
especially
even if he
with
did,
what he realized about Vanya being force sensitive.
Yeah. Like, this whole, again, brown noser for the freaking Empire. He's over here like, and I love how he thinks that he is like playing 4D chess while Thrawn is like eating the pieces or something, because this dude's like, oh, but I know how intellectual Thrawn is, but he doesn't know how intellectual that I can be. So he probably doesn't know that I know that he knows that I know that he knows. So I'm going to act like I don't know that he knows that he knows that I don't know. Like, basically. he tries to do all of these things at the very end of the book. He's like, but this is the real plan. And then, like, the book ends, and I'm just like, God damn it! Like, and I don't get to know what happens after that. That's all bullshit. And that is why this is the weakest book out of the trilogy.
It's totally fair. I think it falls victim to, it can't tell you what happened next because Lucasfilm wants to use Thrawn. Theoretically, could Zahn decide to write a novel about Arlani and Vento and Ronan? Yes, he could. I just don't know if he would. Would you read that book if it did in fact come out?
After reading this, 100%. There is, and I told this to Zahn, and I've said it to you before. Like, for there to be somebody who has me rooting for the Empire through my entire life, I was told never to root for the Empire.
Well,
Like, that's just good storytelling. Like, because there's a complete difference, okay? You look at something like oh shoot, what was the story with Palpatine and Vader? It's
Lords of the Sith.
Lords of the Sith. You look at Lords of the Sith. I'm not rooting for Palpatine and Vader
Mm-hmm.
in that story because there's still an entirely different part of that story that's the literal birth of the rebellion.
Yep.
Like, it's a badass story. You get to see Palpatine actually be badass outside of Revenge of the Sith. Darth Vader is a fucking menace in that book. It's terrifying and cool, but I never once was rooting for the Empire. This has me literally rooting for the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Making your protagonist somebody, and that's the really fun and tricky thing about it, is like, yeah, you're rooting for the Empire, but like deep down inside, you're actually just rooting for the Chiss ascendancy, and you don't know it. Like,
Yep.
that's really what it is.
It's
But
so artistic.
you don't learn that until later on in the story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still written in such a way because even you look at the last conversation in this book is between Palpatine and Thrawn. And Thrawn's like, do you think I'm like, it's Palpatine telling Thrawn, like, do you think I'm stupid? Like, I know exactly what you're doing. What is stopping me from making the decision right now that your decisions are going to backfire on me and you're the threat to the Empire?
Yes.
And Thrawn is just cold-faced, like, dude, I got you. Like, yeah, I am looking out for my people, but I have told you again and again and again, I swore myself to the Empire. So
Yep.
therefore, I will protect you and the Empire. And it just works out. Like, it's almost silly. You could almost say that it's quote unquote bad writing because Thrawn has the exact same excuse every single time he talks to Palpatine or Vader. But the repetitiveness shows his consistency, which makes him a good character in this trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I read this trilogy and then look back at Ahsoka and I'm like, what happened?
Right, you have this. How do you screw that up?
They slaughtered my boy.
And oh, Mickelson is such a good voice for Thrawn, but they could have done something like also just prosthetic wise. Like, okay, we're not talking about that, but like he doesn't look like Thrawn. He doesn't act like Thrawn. He's got the voice, and that's
like it. In now, I could tell you this right now. Let's say, they pull a complete 180, and now that they're actually in our known galaxy that we've known since the very beginning of Star Wars, and then Thrawn's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I was just saying all this so that way I can get here. Let me go call my family." And then the Chiss Ascendancy all comes up and like starts doing shit. Then you got me. Like, okay, cool. Like we're heading in the right direction. Cool. You are forgiven for your past sins. Let's keep on this road. But if they don't do anything like that and they keep going on this weird thing of Thrawn of all people wanting to be the ruler of the galaxy, it makes no sense.
No. He doesn't want to be a ruler. And I highly doubt that they are going to bring in the Chiss into whether it's Ahsoka season 2 or like the Heir to the Empire movie. I just don't think it's gonna happen. But yeah.
Yeah. It's a shame. But guys, it is getting late. That is it for our review. If you are not listening to this on a random High Republic draft episode, that means that you are listening to all 3 reviews all at once.
Yes.
And this was in the matter of 2.5 months that we talked about all 3 of these books. Really, really fun to talk about this. Again, Katie has just making me go completely empty on my bank account for these Star Wars books.
Hey, I sent you library links.
You are 100% truthful on that, but I have also read half of these books and been like, okay, I like this enough to own it. I'm gonna read it now. So
what will we read next, guys?
I'm excited either way. I will go ahead and ask that we don't read the prequel series to this, the just Ascendancy, just because I need a palate cleanser. It was heavy to read all 3 of these. And knowing that's going to give me a full background on the Chiss and everything else, like I feel like that's going to be a very heavy read. I've seen how thick all 3 of those books are. I want to take a break before I jump into that.
I don't blame you.
But with that, guys, thank you so much for being here, whether that be on YouTube or listening. We love you guys so much. Of course, you can always find me at Fanboy Clay on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and or Threads. TikTok and Instagram is where I am taking my book journey. It's been fun so far. If you enjoy that type of thing, follow me there. If you enjoy comics, that's what I do for my day job. I help distribute comics. If you want to get an inside look on that, follow me on Blue Sky. And then, of course, there is always Ranger Alliance, also on the GUA network. Me, Joe, and Jake are on that podcast. We just passed 100 episode for Ranger Alliance, so it's very, very exciting. Go check that out. Katie, what about yourself?
Y'all, you can find me on most social media platforms. That is at Slice of Katie. I promise if I don't get back to you immediately, I will get back to you. This show you can find on email and via phone number. That is the email is starwarsalliance@gmail.com. Remember, there's no A in the wars. That's very important. Don't forget it. The phone number is 830-538-4828. And y'all, there is less than 5 days left to enter our giveaway for Into the Light. And I don't think anybody's entered it yet, Clay.
I'm muted. I haven't seen any voicemails or text messages going through the hotline, and I haven't received any emails either.
Yeah.
So, guys, please go ahead and enter that in our net. Oh, well, I guess the next episode we do put out, it would already be past it. I don't think there's going to be another time to push this out there.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys are listening all the way through the episodes. But I will probably also just very fancily very fancy like, how about that? I'll say it that way. Also add this portion to the beginning of our episode. We're doing our intros. Guys, we are doing a giveaway. I accidentally bought another copy of Into the Light, and I would like to give it away. Please give us your opinion on Into the Light. Give us any kind of opinion that you have on the upcoming season of Andor 2. Some of your Star Wars Celebration predictions. We are picking out a winner on our celebration rundown, basically. And we will choose the winner then. So please give us a call, text, or email to enter that giveaway.
Yes, and y'all, we're recording that rundown episode on Sunday. So guys, we're very excited for celebration this weekend. Also, happy Easter if you celebrate that. So yeah. With that, guys, I want to wish everyone a great day or night, whatever time of day you were listening or watching. It's past my bedtime. May the force be with you. Bye, guys.